Welcome back to the Musical Theatre Pub Quiz. Thank you for joining me again, and thank you for continuing to share and comment and send me your scores. It's great. I hope you're enjoying. This is number 4 already, which is both a great thing, but also a reminder of just how long we've been in lockdown as well. I hope you're all keeping safe and well, trying to keep your sanity. I'll take this opportunity to show off my lockdown haircut. I think Dan, my husband, did a very, very good job. So thank you, Dan. So yeah, we're going to jump in. We're going to have the usual 5 rounds. And there are going to be 2 picture rounds this time because I've said it already, I love a picture round. So I hope that does all right. I'm working on a very exciting round for next time as well. So do watch this space. And give me a follow on Twitter at DirectorDan86 for more information on those as they come along. So yeah, let's jump in, have a good quiz, see you on the other side. Round 1, as always, is the composers round. So hopefully you're all getting better and better at this if you weren't so hot on it before. I think this week is a bit more of a challenge. Some of you will love this challenge, some of you won't like it so much, but just take the opportunity to learn about more amazing composers of musical theatre, I guess. So the first one here, number 1, is going to be Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Who composed the music? Remember, we're looking just for the music here. Who composed the music for Dirty Rotten Scoundrels? That's number 1. Show number 2, Guys and Dolls. Who wrote the music for Guys and Dolls? A show which, whenever mentioned, I can't help but go, Guys and Dolls, we're just a bunch of crazy guys and dolls, which fits in nicely with my Simpsons quiz that I did as well, which you can check out on my channel as well. So who wrote Guys and Dolls is the question. Number 3, Betty Blue Eyes. So who wrote the music for Betty Blue Eyes? Number 4. The show is Godspell. Number 4, Godspell. How are we doing? Number 5 is Legally Blonde. Who composed the show Legally Blonde? Number 6, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Who composed the music for the film and obviously the stage show of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? I used to really love that film, although the child catcher is obviously one of the creepiest villains of all time. Number 7, I know we've mentioned it a couple of times in the past, but who wrote the music for West Side Story? So that's number 7, West Side Story. Number 8 is going to be a slightly cheekier one. The show, there are 2 different versions of this show, so I will accept either one of the composers for each of the 2 different shows. But who wrote the music for The Wild Party? Either version I don't mind, but The Wild Party. Give me one of the composers for those shows. Number 9, Jekyll and Hyde. Who wrote the music for Jekyll and Hyde? And finally in this round, number 10 is Fiddler on the Roof. I know some of these shows you're all going to know, but do you know the composers? I think this is definitely the hardest composers round I've done. So well done if you're doing if you think you're doing a good job right now. If you know the answers, well done. Number 10 here is Fiddler on the Roof. So that's round 1. Take a moment, fill in any gaps, always worth a guess. And we will move on when you're ready to round number 2. How did you do on round number 1? This, again, round 2 is, as usual, it's the lyrics round. So I will give you a lyric from a show. You just need to tell me what show that is. Simple as that. So again, I will try and restrain myself from singing any of these. And we'll jump in here with number 1. So number 1, the lyric is, everybody loves a winner, so nobody loves me. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loves me. What show is that from? That's number 1. Number 2. A robin feathering his nest has very little time to rest, while gathering his bits of twine and twig. Okay, so that's number 2. A robin feathering his nest has very little time to rest, while gathering his bits of twine and twig. What show is that from? That's number 2. Number 3. I would not be just a muffin, my head all full of stuffing, my heart all full of pain. What's the show that's from? It's number 3. I would not be just a muffin, my head all full of stuffing, my heart all full of pain. I know you'll all be singing the rest of these songs to figure it out if you don't know it straight away. Number 4. Again, do feel free, you can pause this if you want some extra time, so don't worry about my speed. Number 4. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high. It's number 4. Number 5. I see a line of beautiful girls dressed as stormtroopers, each one a gem. What show could that be from? Number 5. I see a line of beautiful girls dressed as stormtroopers, each one a gem. Okay, number 6. If this is where the monarchy is headed, count me out. That's number 6. If this is where the monarchy is headed, count me out. What show is that from? Number 7. Wouldn't she be delicious, tidying up the dishes, neat as a pin? Number 7. Wouldn't she be delicious, tidying up the dishes, neat as a pin? I think that's a slightly harder one, I think. So well done if you know that. Number 8. Would you lace my shoe, paint your face bright blue, catch a kangaroo? that's number 8. Would you lace my shoe, paint your face bright blue, catch a kangaroo? Number 9. Caring, sharing, every little thing that we are wearing. What show is that from? Caring, sharing, every little thing that we are wearing. That is number 9. And to finish this round is a more difficult one, but it's a show I really like, so I thought I'd throw it in. This is number 10. Life is easy in rehearsal. You follow a script, so you know what comes next. Well done if you get this one. Okay, number 10. Life is easy in rehearsal. You follow a script, so you know what comes next. And that is round 2, our lyrics round. So next will be our first picture round. So this is the first picture round, and this was suggested to me. Someone wanted a poster round. So I took that a little further, and we're doing a playbill round. So for those of you who don't know, the playbill is the famous Broadway sort of show program, universal across all the Broadway theatres, iconic for that yellow strip across the top. You'll know it if you see it. But essentially it's the poster round, but I thought the playbills make them all a little bit more universal. So I'm going to put an image up which has 10 playbills with the titles removed. All you have to do is tell me what show these images are for. Okay, so here are the playbills. And you can pause it and take your time to look over these. And when you are ready, just click play. And let's go on to round number 4. How did you find that playbill round? I really liked creating that one. Might do that again. I think that might be a one to repeat. We're on to round 4 now, and this is, again, my rule of 3s. I'm going to give you 3 song titles from a show. Just tell me what show these songs are from. Okay, nice and straightforward, hopefully. Number 1, your songs are Lonely Room, People Will Say We're in Love, and Kansas City. What show are they from? Number 1, Lonely Room, People Will Say We're in Love, and Kansas City. Number 2, The Meek Shall Inherit, Closed for Renovations, and Somewhere That's Green. Again, number 2, your songs are The Meek Shall Inherit, Closed for Renovation, and Somewhere That's Green. What show are those songs from? Number 3, Honey Honey, Does Your Mother Know, and Voulez-Vous. Number 3 again, your songs are Honey Honey, Does Your Mother Know, and Voulez-Vous. Number 4, Keep It Gay, If You've Got It, Flaunt It, and Opening Night. Okay, those are your 3 songs for number 4. Keep It Gay, If You've Got It, Flaunt It, and Opening Night. Number 5, Find Your Grail, Whatever Happened to My Part, and He Is Not Dead Yet. So number 5, again, your songs are Find Your Grail, Whatever Happened to My Part, and He Is Not Dead Yet. What show are all of those songs from? 6. Bad Guys, So You Wanna Be a Boxer, and My Name is Tallulah. Number 6 again, your songs are Bad Guys, So You Wanna Be a Boxer, and My Name is Tallulah. What show are they from? Number 7. You Could Drive a Person Crazy, Barcelona, and Marry Me a Little. Again, number 7. You Could Drive a Person Crazy, Barcelona, and Marry Me a Little. Number 8. The Story of Tonight, My Shot, and The Room Where It Happens. Number 8 again, your songs are The Story of Tonight, My Shot, and The Room Where It Happens. Hope you're doing alright with these. Number 9, My Junk, The Bitch of Living, and Mama Who Bore Me. Those songs again for number 9, My Junk, The Bitch of Living, and Mama Who Bore Me. Just what show are they from? And finally, number 10 in this rule of threes round, the 3 songs are Fiddle About, Acid Queen, and Pinball Wizard. Those 3 songs again are Fiddle About, Acid Queen, and Pinball Wizard. What show are they from? Ooh, okay, work your way back through, fill in the gaps, have a guess if you don't know, and when you are ready, we'll move on to our final round. Welcome to round 5, the final round of this quiz. So, I thought I would do a sort of Disney theatricals round this time and look at the 9 Disney adaptations that they've been for stage through Disney Theatrical. And what I will do is I'll put up an image which will have the 9 major Disney shows. I just want you to put them in order of when they were adapted for stage. Okay, there will be 9 shows. If you get them all in order, you'll get the extra bonus point to make it up to the 10. Okay, so here are the shows. You'll see we have Tarzan, Frozen, Pinocchio, Beauty and the Beast, Hercules, The Lion King, The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Just put them in order in which they were released. A point for every correct one. Okay, so you can pause it now if you want to think it over. And when you are ready, click play. And let's go on to the answers. How do we think we did this time round? I know there were some harder ones in there, just to challenge some people. I'll try and keep it balanced though. So here are the answers then for round number 1, which is the composers round. Number 1, the show was Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, and that was composed by David Yazbek. His most recent show, Tootsie, we saw on Broadway last year, which we loved. So number 1 is David Yazbek. Number 2, Guys and Dolls. I'm hoping you know this. It's Frank Lesser. So Frank Lesser for number 2. Number 3 is Betty Blue Eyes. And you will know if you know it. It's by Styles and Drew, sort of British composing duo. But it's George Styles that I was after. I'll give you the point if you said Styles and Drew. But well done if you got the fact that the music was written by George Styles. Number 4, Godspell. This is a name that's popped up before. Of course, it is Stephen Schwartz. Okay, so 4 was Stephen Schwartz, who wrote Wicked and Prince of Egypt, of course. Number 5, Legally Blonde, which I remember seeing the original of with Sheridan Smith and Duncan James, which was a brilliant production. Really enjoyed that. It's by Lawrence O'Keefe and Nell Benjamin. So Lawrence O'Keefe and Nell Benjamin are the composers of Legally Blonde. Number 6, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is, of course, one of the great old musicals written by the Sherman Brothers. Richard Sherman specifically being the composer. Sherman Brothers, of course, were all the classic Disney films and Mary Poppins and all that. So number 6, Sherman Brothers, or for just to feel better about yourself, if you got it right, really well done if you specifically said Richard Sherman. Number 7, West Side Story, Leonard Bernstein, however you want to pronounce it. So 7, Leonard Bernstein. Number 8, now there are 2 versions of the show The Wild Party, one of which isn't available to do in the UK, so you might know one or the other. So there's Andrew Lipper, who wrote one version, which isn't available in the UK, which is a huge shame, because I love his version. And then there's the Michael Lachuza version as well, which you might have seen over here in the UK. So you get a point for Andrew Lipper, or a point for Michael Lachuza. I mean, you get a pat on the back if you had both, but it's only 1 point, I'm afraid. Number 9, Jekyll and Hyde was Frank Wildhorn. Okay, so number 9, Jekyll and Hyde was written by Frank Wildhorn. And number 10, a show which we all really know, is Fiddler on the Roof. But do you know who wrote the music? It was, of course, Jerry Bock. Well done if you got that. Jerry Bock for number 10. Great stuff. Tally up your marks. And let's move on to round number 2. Round number 2 is the lyrics round, as always. So here are the lyrics and their answers. So number 1, everybody loves a winner, so nobody loves me, is from Cabaret. It's Maybe This Time from Cabaret. So well done if you got that. Number 2, a robin feathering his nest has very little time to rest while gathering his bits of twine and twig, is from Mary Poppins. So number 2, Mary Poppins. Number 3, I would not be just a muffin, my head all full of stuffing, my heart all full of pain. Wizard of Oz, If I Only Had a Brain. So number 3 there is Wizard of Oz. Number 4, when you walk through a storm, hold your head up high, is from Carousel, You'll Never Walk Alone. So number 4 is Carousel. Number 5, I see a line of beautiful girls dressed as stormtroopers, each one a gem, is from The Producers. That's Keep It Gay from The Producers. Number 6, if this is where the monarchy is headed, count me out of service, out of Africa. Anyway, that's from Lion King. That's the Lion King. It's I just can't wait to be king. Number 7, wouldn't she be delicious? Tidying up the dishes, neat as a pin. Well done if you got this. It's a funny thing happened on the way to the forum. Everybody ought to have a maid. So number 7, funny thing happened on the way to the forum. Number 8, would you lace my shoe, paint your face bright blue, catch a kangaroo, I'll do anything, from Oliver. So number 8, Oliver. Number 9, caring, sharing every little thing that we are wearing, is from White Christmas. That's sisters, such devoted sisters there. But it's actually from White Christmas. So well done if you said that. And number 10, this was slightly harder. It's a great show. Life is easy in rehearsal. You follow a script so you know what comes next. It's from Joe Iconis' Be More Chill. So well done if you said that. Number 10 is Be More Chill. Ooh, there we go. Tally it up. And let's move on to round number 3. So here is round number 3, which is the playbills round. I will put the 10 images back up. Here they go. So you've got to tell me what show they are for. Number 1 is Assassins. So number 1 is Assassins. Number 2, Hamilton. This is Hamilton for number 2. Number 3, Evita. Number 3 is Evita. Number 4, Miss Saigon. There's Miss Saigon for number 4. Number 5, slightly newer show, but I thought you might get it because it was based on quite a popular film. It is Pretty Woman. So well done if you got number 5, Pretty Woman. Number 6, slightly trickier one as well, I think. It's School of Rock. So well done if you said that, School of Rock. Number 7, although there have been lots of different versions of this poster, loads of them, I think it's quite iconic, this one. Hopefully you got it. It is Chicago. So 7 is Chicago. Number 8 is, of course, Frozen. So that's Frozen for number 8. Number 9, Lion King. Number 9 is The Lion King. And number 10, another one, well done if you got this one, quite tough I think, is Rent. So number 10 is Rent. So how well did you do in that round? Tally it all up. Let's move on. Here is round number 4. How are we doing so far out of 30? Now we're going to go on to round 4. This is the rule of threes round. So I will give you 3 song titles. Okay, so what is the show? So number 1, Lonely Room. People Will Say We're in Love and Kansas City are all from Oklahoma. So number 1 is Oklahoma. Number 2, The Meek Shall Inherit, closed for renovation, and Somewhere That's Green is from Little Shop of Horrors. So number 2 is Little Shop of Horrors. Number 3, Honey Honey, Does Your Mother Know, and Voulez-Vous is Mamma Mia. It's really hard to find songs in that show that aren't completely and utterly well known and iconic. So that's Mamma Mia for number 3. Number 4, Keep It Gay, If You've Got It, Flaunt It. And opening night is The Producers. So 4 is The Producers. Number 5, Find Your Grail, Whatever Happened to My Part, and He Is Not Dead Yet. It's from Monty Python's Spamalot. So 5, Spamalot. Number 6, Bad Guys, So You Wanna Be a Boxer, and My Name is Tallulah is Bugsy Malone. Number 6, Bugsy Malone. Number 7, You Could Drive a Person Crazy, Barcelona, and Marry Me a Little are all from Company. If any of you saw the amazing recent production in the West End, which is on Broadway or was on Broadway at the minute, which is temporarily closed, of course, but Marianne Elliott's production with the gender-swapped Bobby is just a beautiful production. Absolutely incredible. Get the soundtrack. Highly recommend it. Number 8, The Story of Tonight, My Shot, and The Room Where It Happens, I'm sure you'll all be shouting out, is, of course, Hamilton. Number 9, My Junk, The Bitch of Living, and Mama Who Bore Me. That is Duncan Sheik's Spring Awakening. So number 9, Spring Awakening. And 10, Fiddle About, Acid Queen, and Pinball Wizard are all from The Who's Tommy. So number 10 is Tommy. Well done if you got that. Tally up your answers. On to the final round. Okay, this is a slightly more difficult round. This is the chronological timeline Disney theatrical round, which is a mouthful, I understand. So I gave you 9 shows. You had to put them in order. Okay, now you get a point if you have the correct number by the show. And if you get all 9 right, you get an extra bonus point to make it the 10. Okay, so I'll put the correct order now up on the screen. So as you will see, the first one to be translated or adapted to stage is Beauty and the Beast, followed by The Lion King, which is still the highest grossing musical of all time. Number 3, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, although it never made it to Broadway, but I think it's trying to at the minute, so keep an eye out for that one. Number 4 was Tarzan. Now Tarzan is doing insanely well, or did insanely well around Europe and Germany. They loved it. Never really had it over here, but a great show. Number 5, The Little Mermaid. Very cool adaptation of that. Stephen Meyer again, actually, I think, was the one who came up with the Healy idea, so that he rolled around the stage. Never made it over here, though, sadly. Number 6 is Aladdin. Number 7, this is the production of Pinocchio that was done at the National Theatre here in the UK. It didn't get to the West End, but it was a really interesting and dark take on the film, or a darker take on the film, I suppose. But a really cool show, and it's a shame. Hopefully we'll get to see it come back sometime. Number 8 is Frozen. And number 9, the most recent one to be adapted, is Hercules, which was done by the Public Theatre in New York, and they've just announced, I think Alan Menken said that they are now in works to hopefully take that to Broadway. So hopefully that will become a much bigger show, because that is one of my all-time favourite films from Disney. And there you go. If you had all of them right to get the extra bonus point, an enormous well done. And again, thank you for watching. There'll be another one next Monday. On a Wednesday as well, I'm going to throw out another random quiz. So keep an eye out on my channel. Subscribe if you want notifications. You know all that rubbish. Do tweet me. Let me know how you're doing, because it's always nice to hear from you. And if you've got any ideas for rounds, I'll happily take them on board. But stay safe, look after yourselves, and we will see you at the next one. And the bonus tiebreaker question for this quiz is this. So the first adapted Disney animation was The Beauty and the Beast, which became, I think, the 10th longest running show on Broadway. Now, the question is, Belle's iconic golden ball gown was quite a heavy ball gown. How much did it weigh in that original Broadway production? Again, the nearest one wins. We'll do it in pounds, please. So how many in pounds did that dress weigh? Have a think. Get an answer. Nearest one's going to win. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The answer is 30 pounds. That dress weighed 30 pounds. So Belle's had a true workout during that ballroom dancing. Well done if you got that. Whoever the winner is, congratulations. See you at the next one.
We're glad you came, but we have to shout. Adios, au revoir, we don't say,